Boogie, here we are, man. What's shaking, brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. About as good as I could, good as expected.
What do they say? Every day above ground is a great day, right?
Oh man, I'm telling you, man, it
Yeah.
really is. It truly is.
Yeah, well, it's good to see you, man. And I look forward to you sharing your story here with the listeners of Backstage Pass Radio. And I think it's my understanding. So I think me and you and Jim were, and there was some other person that were looped into a text message this week. And you were in Nashville. Are you still in Nashville, or did you get back home already from
No,
this
I'm
past
I'm
weekend?
I'm back home. I had to go play a private party at the Yacht Club in Mount Juliet with Bart Walker's band. Bart plays guitar with Jamie Johnson and Hank Williams Jr. And his band got hired for a gig by a friend of mine, and so he flew me up there to come be a special guest.
Very cool, very cool. So
So
how was the gig?
it
It
was
turned out
great.
well?
Yeah, it was really cool. I've done it. I've done it before with my band, so I kind of knew what to expect. I knew it was going to be a small crowd of high rollers.
Yeah,
Like a small crowd of
yeah,
high
yeah.
rollers, basically. So it was
Sometimes those
cool.
sometimes those are the fun gigs too, right? It doesn't always have to be like a 10, 15,000 person show. Like some of those small intimate things can be really fun in and of themselves, right?
Oh, it was a lot of fun, and I can tell you right now, they had more fun than I mean, man, they had a lot of fun.
I
So,
bet they did. Well,
yeah.
it just came to my mind. It's interesting. I have some friends up in they're in Indiana, and they're huge. You mentioned pre us going live. You dropped the name Samantha Fish, right? And John and Leslie, my friends John and Leslie, who live up in Indiana, are huge Samantha Fish fans, and I got to kind of digging around, and it looks like they're connected through Facebook with you as well. And you may not know them, but I know us musicians will connect with a lot of people. Sometimes we know them, sometimes we don't. But they're big blues followers, huge Samantha
I'm
Fish
sure I've met
fans,
them.
right? Yeah.
I'm sure I've met them. I did several tours with her. She two of my records were on her label, so
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
I did a lot of stuff on the East Coast and then a couple on the West Coast. The Troubadour,
Yeah.
Belly Up, that kind of stuff. So.
Sure, sure. Well, I guess speaking of records, man, a quick shout out to our mutual friend Jim Odom at Miracle Records for he was my connection to you, and Jim was on with me in my season 9, which was like October of last year. So thanks, Jim Odom, for hooking me up with Boogie here.
Yeah, and Jim is a amazing person, a great friend, and man, he's one of my biggest supporters right now. He's been in my corner since day one, and he's really trying to help me make something positive and memorable, and trying to help me kind of get my feet in the game the right way.
Yeah, that's good.
So
Yeah, well, that's a good camp. The LaRue camp is a good camp to be in. I've had Rod Roddy, I had Tony Hazelden on my show before he passed, and of course Jim. And I've been geez, man, I guess I date back to LaRue a long ways, just from a fan base. But that '83 record, So Fired Up, that came out when Fergie was still with the band, like that, I told all three of those guys, and I did my interview with Rod at his place in Thibodaux. I said, that's top three albums front to back for me of all time. Like, there's something about that record. And then Zebra, the debut from Zebra was another big record for me, right? We'll talk about the whole Louisiana roots there
yeah,
shortly, but love the LaRue guys, man. You got a good team there, especially with Jim, right?
yeah. Well, and I mean, he's really just trying, anything and everything, and he's not scared to try anything. So
Yeah,
it's interesting to watch it happen, and they're real optimistic, man.
that's good.
Uh, that we're gonna have some big stuff coming up. So we'll
Well, I
see.
could think of worse people to be in, have in my corner, right? I mean, you got a guy that, we'll talk about it maybe a little bit more later on, but I mean, boy, what a company he's co-spun up, years ago with PreSonus, right? The guy,
Yeah, he founded it
yeah,
and yeah, and built
crazy.
it up
Yep.
to be something real special, and then he
Yeah.
ended up selling Defender. Yeah.
Yep, for sure. Well,
So
you two guys, I mean, speaking of Jim, you two guys have more in common than just Miracle Records. I mean, you're both inductees into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, right?
yeah, yeah. And I've known Jim for a long time before we started actually working together, you know.
Okay, yeah.
But my he had mentioned something to my friend Tracy about, man, Jonathan's never had a record that was done the way that I think he should have a record done. Like he hasn't had one that really truly represents him in a way that, like I feel it should.
Hmm.
And so Tracy told me that. He's like, man, Jim wants to produce a record on you, and that's kind of what started the ball rolling. Next thing you know, I'm having dinner, and then we, a couple more lunch meetings, and then we're in a studio, with a couple guys actually tracking stuff, and
That's super cool.
just
Well,
came together, man.
and I think you're the artist. And correct me where I'm wrong in any of this interview, right? I'll let you set the record straight, but I think you're the artist kind of kicking it off from Miracle Records, are you not?
Yeah, I'm his
Yeah,
first artist,
yeah, that's awesome, man.
He's gonna produce a couple different people. I'm sure he's looking for some other artists to produce. He asked
Uh,
me. He even told me, "Hey man, if there's an artist that you believe in, bring them to the table and let's talk about it." But
yeah, right on.
but you know, it's just a tough. Like the record business is such a tough game, especially right now. Like it's hard to recoup. It's hard to do anything unless you're really, really, really hitting the road real hard. And
Yeah,
uh, you know, it's really hard to get traction on Spotify.
yeah,
I mean, it just is unless you have like a video or something that goes viral, or
yep.
you know, which is honestly what I should be focusing a lot of my time on. But I mean, but it's like I sit there and I spin my wheels like, what do you do? You like,
You got to go act
do
stupid
you
or what?
what
You know
yeah,
what I
exactly.
mean?
Or do I just sing my entire catalog
Yeah,
at the camera, with all my might, and just hope and pray that somebody connects to it, It's
I get
like
it.
it just feels forced.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I agree with you there. And what I will tell you is I've had this conversation at nauseum with artists. Like, even I'm a musician too, a professional musician here in Cypress, Texas. But, you know, promoting your show, social media is a necessary evil for guys like you and I. Probably more so for you because you're basing a living on this, whereas I'm not basing a living on this. But it's like you think of things like TikTok and you say, do I just go act dumb and do dumb videos just to get recognized on TikTok? Like, man, I'm 60 years old. Like that ship has sailed. I'm not going to go look dumb on social media for a few followers, right? So I don't sell myself out. So I get your thought process is like, what do I do? Do I sing the phone book? Do I do a handstand at the park? Like, what the hell do I do to get
yeah.
noticed around here, right?
Well, I've been improv soloing on TikTok, to anything and everything. And man, I'll play metal, and I'll play Crossroads by Bone Thugs and Harmony, and
Yeah,
I'll play blues and shuffles and fusion and jazz. Like I've been on a smooth jazz kick this week.
really.
Like
Yeah,
just like I've been playing my 335, and
yeah,
uh, man, I started out uh about 2 years. I'm gonna say about 2 years ago with 800 people that already knew who I was.
mhm.
And on live streams alone, I'm almost to 29,000.
Very nice.
So it's just but what's cool about it is that it's all organic.
Yep,
They didn't follow from a video. It's people that
exactly.
scrolled through and went, "Holy crap, this guy's amazing." And man, I've got 10, 20, 30,000 comments or more of people that just say, "Man, you're the," there's a lot of people that say you're the baddest dude on TikTok, So
Wow.
I've
Yeah,
got a
that's
lot of
cool,
people
man.
that really, I got a lot of people that just hang out in my room just to hang out because the vibe is so cool. They just feel the
Yeah.
vibe.
Right
My
on,
mix
man.
is really good, and
Yeah.
they I'm good at I'm good at keeping up with like the comments while I'm playing. So
Yep.
people like that, they like the engagement, and so that's been helping me. I say all that to say that's been helping
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
whenever I do that a lot, like you'll see the Spotify numbers kind of go up a little bit because people are checking out your stuff.
Yep. Yep.
So that's really cool, and that's really what the goal is to try to get that number up. I mean, I've had people in the business tell you we won't even look at you unless you have 1 million streams. We don't even want to, we don't even care about you
Yep.
till then. So
It's all about recognition and notability, right?
yeah,
Um, and I don't want to go down like a TikTok rabbit hole, but you may
no,
remember I stumbled across you on one of your live streams
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah,
night,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I remember.
And
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right. That's
yeah,
right. I remember that.
and I'm like, oh, there's Boogie right there, and I checked it out for a little bit, but like high level, right? Like, because I don't for the people that aren't the gearheads, like what do you do sound wise going into the TikTok live to get the best sound for you? Like talk to the
So
listeners a little bit.
I'm using an audio interface like a Scarlett Focusrite. I'm running it straight into my MacBook, and
Okay.
then I'm having that be my interface. And then I just run my mic into the left channel, my guitar into the right channel. I'm using like a Fender Tone Master Pro,
Okay.
and I play my backing track straight off of YouTube, right?
Okay. Yep.
And then TikTok Live Studio has loopback, so like anything that you hear on your computer, they can hear on the stream,
Okay.
and then somehow magically, because it doesn't work for most people, and sometimes I have glitches too, but somehow magically everything lined up and just worked.
Interesting.
You
So
know,
so it is
some people have a
possible.
latency.
Oh
Some
yeah.
people have issues,
Yeah.
but I didn't have any of those issues for like by the grace of God. Like when I plugged everything in, it just happened.
That's cool. Well, I notice a lot of people are live streaming at their shows, and I have to think that a lot of them are not connected to Wi-Fi. They're coming straight over the cell tower,
Mhm.
and a lot of them have really good sound and video, which is surprising. Like you would think there would be a lot of buffering
Well,
and
cell phone
latency
cameras
and
are
whatever,
getting
right?
better. Cell
Yeah.
phone cameras are getting better. And the other thing is man, I've seen guys that just have their phone sitting on a table and
Hmm.
they're playing with a backing track blaring through the speakers and they got their guitar amp behind them and they're just letting the phone pick up all that sound. I've
Wow,
seen them guys have 500,000 followers.
that's crazy.
I followed a guy that had that he was my TikTok hero. His name was Paul, his Big Paul. He's
Okay.
a Mexican guy named Paul, and
Okay.
he plays the blues and
Oh
pentatonic,
shit.
one
Wow.
spot. And man, he had 500,000 followers, and I was like,
Wow.
he had more followers than Joe Bonamassa. I
Wow.
swear, but by
How's
like
that
twice.
possible, right?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
Well, he's because he's on there every day doing it. But
Shit.
anyway, enough of the TikTok rabbit hole.
Right.
Go
Yeah.
check out TikTok.
There you go. There you go. Well,
It's
I
American
think
owned now.
right on. Well, I think that you call Baton Rouge home these days, but is Baton Rouge? So set me right. Are you in Baton Rouge these days, and that's where you were born and raised, or talk
I
to me
live in
about
Hammond,
Hammond? Okay.
which is like
Yeah,
45 minutes or 40 minutes from Baton Rouge.
I got you.
I was born in Baton Rouge,
Okay.
and I spent some years there, and then I went to school in Livingston Parish, which is kind
Okay.
of like where I got into like the band program and like that sort of stuff. I mean, I had a guitar when I was a kid, like a cheap acoustic, just kind of like a banger guitar.
Hmm.
But I didn't get like my first like actual guitar till I was about 8.5 or so. My dad bought me a white Oscar Schmidt um on his birthday
Okay.
one year. It was his birthday. We were at a pawn shop and he bought me this guitar. And then that's kind of where I like really took to the journey. You know, like I banged around and like messed around and would try to like imitate my pawpaw, you know, and like all that kind of stuff. But that's when I like got, you know, I took a couple lessons and like I had people like really trying to show me stuff. And, you know, I went to Mark Wascom in Denham Springs and he started teaching me how to hear stuff. That's how I learned was because he could listen to something and just play it,
Hmm.
you know, and I always was fascinated with that. I was like, man, he can just hear it. You know, he doesn't have to like have tablature or music or anything. He could just go right to it, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's how I learned. I learned to use my ear, you know, and just learned how to do that. Now I hear the band, I hear the entire band in my head and I just can't
Yeah.
hear it. And
Wow.
it's like and like when I'm listening to a song, I'm hearing I don't have to have a guitar in my hand to know what the progression is.
Hmm.
I can chart out the progression to the song just listening to it. I don't need an instrument. And then it doesn't matter what key it's in because the progression is the progression. Then
Yeah.
you find out what the one is. It's not even about having perfect pitch. You can just hear it based on the major scale,
Hmm.
based on do re mi fa sol la ti do. You can hear whether the song starts on the minor 6 or the minor 2 or the 4 or if it starts on the 1. You can hear those things. You can hear it without having an instrument, you know?
That's interesting that you say that. I'm a classical pianist trained from way back in the day, and I don't really play the piano much anymore. I have one here in the studio, but I learned to read music at a young age. And when I hear guys like you say, I'm a feel or I'm a play by ear guy, and then you start talking about relative minors and major six and the first and the fourth and the fifth of that's all theory stuff. So it doesn't in my head, it's like, how do guys like you know so damn much about theory when you don't know anything about theory? That doesn't make
Well,
sense to me,
I'm
right? Is
looking
it
at
just
it.
from being around it so much? Would you
Yeah,
say that's it?
yeah, and when I say I don't know theory a lot, okay, is the sense of, man, listen, I play Aeolian, Mixolydian, Lydian, Dorian, all that stuff. I don't know what none of them sound like, okay? I couldn't play, I can't play the scale straight through for you,
Okay.
right? I don't know the modes like straight through up and down. I play in all of them. I play in because I play fusion, so I just hear it though. I feel it.
Wow.
I'm not looking at guitar. I always say this online. I say I'm not looking at guitar like Olympic figure skating. Like, here comes the Dorian. Last time he tried this, he failed miserably. I wonder if he's going
Right.
to get a perfect 10 this time. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, it
I
makes
don't
sense.
look at it that way.
Okay.
I'm feeling it. I'm not thinking to myself like, all right, I'm fixing to play a Mixolydian scale, or I'm fixing to play a lick that's in Mixolydian. I'm
Yeah.
not I'm not thinking about it theoretically. I'm using my ear and going, this is where my soul wants to go.
Yeah, it's a
You
feel thing
know,
at that time,
it's just a
right?
feel thing. Like
Yeah.
it's like a language. I try to tell people it's like talking.
Yeah.
It's like another form of talking. It's my form of communication, you
Yeah.
know, and and it's not that I can play. It's not that I can play everything. It's that I can play what I think, what I want. And that's all I give. That's all I care about. I don't care about learning Eddie Van Halen's licks. I want
Yeah.
to sound like Boogie Long,
That's right.
you know? And I can sound like Boogie Long over anything. I can sound like Boogie Long over a metal track. I can sound like Boogie Long over rap, hip hop, funk, jazz, R&B, polka,
Yeah.
you know, anything. I can sound like me. And
Yep.
that's what I try to do. I don't try to be anybody else or now they all influence you. Everybody influences you, you
You're
know.
right. Yep.
My favorite guitar player was Sean Lane. Nobody ever played faster than him, and it's not about fast. That's
Hmm.
not what's cool. He was melodic too, but
Yeah.
he could do stuff that nobody else in the world could do.
Yeah.
And I saw him at 12 years old and said, "I'll never be the best,
Hmm.
never, but I can strive to write a good song."
Yeah.
And then that's what it ended up becoming about. Became about trying to write a good song because everybody's a great guitar player, but what you know, what do you do with it if you don't write a good song? You know?
That's right. That's right. Well, if the guitar went away for you, right? What would the fallback instrument be? If I said, Boogie, we're taking all them guitars out of that studio right there, and you got to pick something else, man. What would that instrument be for you, do you think?
Mm, it'd probably end up being piano or keyboard. I play just a little bit,
Yeah,
but I mean that's probably where I would go to, like just based on my understanding of guitar already.
makes
You
sense.
know, I mean I play drums and stuff, but I know some of the best drummers in the world, and I wouldn't.
You ain't gonna be it, right?
I ain't gonna be it. That's right. I
Right
ain't gonna
on.
be it,
Right
man. So
on.
I just, singing also. I mean, I can sing. I could sing. Like if something happened to me to where I wasn't able to play, I would try to sing.
Yeah.
Just be a blues singer.
Yeah.
My
Right
my
on.
mentor was Big Luther Kent. He was one of the best blues singers in the world. He sang with Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and
Mhm.
he fronted a 12-piece big band, and uh, so I know some of that showmanship. I know like
Mhm.
some of that, just being a singer showmanship,
Of course. Of course.
So I hide behind that guitar a lot though.
Hmm.
I do hide behind my
Hey.
guitar skills. You know what I'm saying? Just because
No, no,
like
I totally,
it's
totally,
a
man.
crutch. It's like a little
Yeah.
bit of a crutch.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. I
Well, it's
mean,
I think a lot of artists and you are a really good player, no doubt, right? But I think there's a lot of like country musicians that use the guitar, even though I think they ultimately know how to play it and are probably do good enough at it. But you look at guys like Alan Jackson and George Strait, like how many times have you seen them strum a few little bars and then they stop playing and they're singing? It's kind of like it almost is a prop to them or a comfort, like a pacifier, if you
it's
will,
a
right?
fidget. It's a
Yeah,
fidget spinner.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like a
so.
fidget.
Yeah,
It's like a fidget toy. Yeah.
yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Well,
Sometimes they're probably not even turned up, or they're probably just out of the mix, just whatever.
That could be it. Like we'll
I
never know,
mean,
but
it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you talked a minute ago. You mentioned Paw Paw. You mentioned your dad
yeah,
buying a guitar on his birthday for you.
yeah,
So I guess it's safe to say you come from a musical family of some sort, right?
yeah. My grandfather was a fire and brimstone preacher.
Okay,
He
yeah.
he never did preach at a church, but like he would go guest preach, and
Hmm.
he always led like a home group where they would have what they called singings. They would sing every week, and
Of
uh
course.
So we always played old country gospel. I mean, old gospel. They were my grandma. Listen, if you don't turn off my grandmother's Jimmy Swaggart, you know what I'm saying?
I know Jimmy.
Like they're
Yep.
old, but I'm saying like it just they wanted the old school stuff.
Sure.
And so I came up around that, and I came up playing real young in like nursing homes and prisons. Like we went
Hmm.
to St. Gabriel Prison, and we would play there sometimes for the prisoners. And
Yeah.
I would always pick Amazing Grace. That was they would sing Amazing Grace, and my
Sure.
papa would look at me and say, "Now pick it," and then
Yeah.
I'd pick the melody. That was
Wow.
always my shining moment when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And then I just like in the third grade, I learned I had a talent show, so I learned the Malagueña. I learned Roy Clark Malagueña, and I played that in the third grade. And then I started going to blues jams and stuff. Dixie Rose found me when I was like 10 or 11, and she brought me into her band. Um, around the time I was 11 years old, it's like the first time I'd been in like a venue to play
Okay.
something. And
Yeah.
then so I started going to rehearsals and stuff with her, and then she kind of introduced me to the blues jam circuit. So I was able to be around like Larry Garner and Little Ray Neal that played with Bobby Bland and James Cotton and B.B. King, and I was able to be around Kenny Neal and Rudy Richard and James Johnson. That was the original guitar for Slim Harpo. He played the chicken scratch on Scratch My Back,
Hmm.
uh, so I was able to be around all those people and as a kid, and 13, 14. And I'll never forget, I was mad. I was already mad at my band director. And Kenny Neal said, "Man, you're good." And he said, I'm half minded to bring you to Japan with me, go play some music or whatever. And that's when I kind of realized, like this is what I want to do for a living. Like
Yeah.
the excitement, the excitement of just that possibility just made me so excited. So, um, my band director made a decision to move me down to last chair and take away my solos on French horn and all that kind of stuff because I had strep throat for a week.
Hmm.
And I quit school. I went in there and told him, if you don't change, all I cared about was band. I said,
Hmm.
if you don't change his mind, I'm going to quit this school.
Yeah.
I don't even care about any of this academic crap. I just didn't. All I cared about was music.
Hmm.
And long story short, I quit school. Really, what I did was went homeschooling, and they never came and checked on me ever. I just disappeared
Really.
out of the system, right? But I went on the road.
And
I mean,
this
I got
was
a
like
gig.
at the age of like 14 is
14. Yeah, I was 14.
like I hadn't
Yeah, and I
even
got a
hit
gig.
I hadn't even hit puberty at that age, and you're already out on the road doing things at 14, right? That most kids are not doing, right?
Well, I had parents that were I call it supportive. Some people might call it crazy. I call it supportive.
Okay.
They allowed me, you know, I think at the end of the day, like they were really strict on my brother and sister, really strict. They couldn't even listen to Petra, and that was a Christian rock band.
Yeah, I
Okay,
remember
they
that.
were
Yeah.
extremely, very, very strict. So they were the complete opposite with me. I was
Uh,
able to go to skating rink lock-ins and like do stuff, and they were just like kind of loose with me, and they let me make my kind of like just kind of become my own person. And I say that to say, when I was 14, I got a gig with a reggae band, Henry Turner Jr. and Flavor, and I went on the road with him, and my parents had to sign partial custody of me over to him,
really?
so that
Wow.
I was able to, so that he could be my guardian in clubs.
Mm.
So I was working a little bit, and I was making a little bit, and I also played in church. I had a gig at church. I was making like 12 or 1500 a month playing guitar in a church, and
Hmm.
so I was playing when I was a kid, man. And
Wow.
I played in a funk rap cover band for a while. We played all the college the frat parties and stuff, man. We played
Yeah.
all those parties, yeah. So,
Did you
and
ever
then,
go? Did you ever get over into Lafayette and play in Lafayette? That's where I went to school at USL back in the
man,
day.
I want to say we did. The band was called Too Hypnotic, man. So I want to say we probably did. Uh, I've played Artmosphere like years and years ago. But it was mostly like Mobile,
Okay.
Hattiesburg,
Yep.
those kind of
Further
places.
east. Yep.
But so then I got the Luther Kent gig when I was like 18 is when I became first call. Um so that was a 12-piece big band. I got a lot of seasoning in that band because those guys were old school,
Hmm.
and there was no stepping on toes in that band. Like you had to learn how to play with a group. It was 12 people and everybody had a part, and you just got to like learn how to fit in. So I got a lot of seasoning on that gig. Uh that's when I started playing Jazz Fest every year, because
Yeah.
I started playing Jazz Fest every year with Luther. And then in 2011 I won Guitar Center's King of the Blues. So um at that time, well, I had been playing with Luther obviously, and I've been playing gigs and stuff. And then, what am I, 22, 23 then maybe, or something like that? I won Best Unsigned Blues Guitarist in America. So I won 25 grand in cash and $35,000 worth of guitars and amps.
Wow.
And then they basically, it didn't really do a lot for me. They did some PR stuff or whatever, and then just kind of turned me loose. And then what really helped me was John Blanchard was hiring me to play the Rock and Bowl a lot. And he said, "Man, you know who's got to see you?" He said, "Quentin Davis, the owner of Jazz Fest, needs to see you." And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Yeah, he needs to see you play." So he hit Quint up and said, "Hey, man, you got to come see this kid, whatever." And I played, and Quint was backstage, and John said, "Hey, man, Quint wants to talk to you." And I walk up to Quint, and he says, "Man," he goes, "where have you been?" He goes, "Where have you been hiding at?" and who are you? He's like, I just got to help you. I just know that I have to help you, you know? So he got me signed. He got me my first management deal with Red Light Management, which is one of the biggest companies in the world.
Mhm.
Corin Capshaw managed Dave Matthews, and he flew Chris Tetzelli and his business partner down to Denham Springs or down to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, to watch me play at a blues jam, or I was hosting a blues jam. They came to watch me host the blues jam, and I had bronchitis so bad I had like fluid in my head, you know, and I was nervous as shit, and I was like, "There's no way they're gonna love me." And Chris Tetzelli came up to me after that gig, and he said, "Hey, bro," he said, "People like you, artists like you, are the reason that I got into this business to begin with."
That's awesome.
And so I got that's when I got my first management deal, and kind of like started playing like nicer festivals and stuff like
Mhm.
that, and uh, so
Well, you,
yeah.
yeah, you spoke about the Guitar Center accolade which is super cool. Another accolade we touched on it briefly earlier was the induction into the Louisiana Music Hall of Fame, and I think that came to you in what was it,
2019.
2019, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I
That was
think
based on, and I'll tell you, like, that was based on just the fact that I've been in music since I was a kid.
yeah,
And I made a joke, Mike Shepard just died, literally. God rest his soul. He literally just died 2 or 3 days ago. Um, and I told Mike, I said, just jokingly with him, I said, I'm gonna backtrack. They were inducting. I want to say they inducted a kid, and I was like, man, how's this kid get inducted? And they said, oh, well, he did something special, whatever. And I was like, well, I did some special stuff, and I was like, I told Mike, I said, well, if you're gonna ever induct me, I said, don't wait till I'm almost dead like everybody else you induct. Induct me early enough to where I can use it, or at least put it on
yeah,
in my resume, and say
absolutely,
something about it, you know.
right, yeah,
So he did, he
yeah.
did, because he the board or whoever decided that I deserved it, and
That's
like I said,
super
I've
cool,
been
man.
doing it a long time, man.
That's super cool. Well, I think Jim Odom was inducted in 2009, if my memory served me correctly, with LaRue. But I've had the Zebra guys on my show several times. Their Louisiana Music Hall of Fame. Lillian Axe has been on my show, which is,
Yeah,
as you
yeah,
know, I mean, if you live in Louisiana and don't know who any of these people are, right, then you haven't been in the music business at the
that's
end of the
right,
day, right?
that's
So
right, yeah,
yeah, super cool stuff. Well, another accolade is the current record that came out this year called "Courage in the Chaos." Has done really well for you, and I think considered a Billboard top 20 blues artist from that particular record. Or is
yeah. We
that
made it to
correct?
number 14. We made it to
Sweet
number
man.
14, and man, it's so hard to make it on there now because they now include what's called legacy acts, which are Etta James and Stevie Ray Vaughan and
Yep,
Eric
yep.
Clapton. And so like us new guys, whenever we release a new record, you're having to compete with Pride and Joy and like all
That's
these like
right.
heavy hitting records. And
Yep.
there uh so it's really hard. It'd be super hard to get to the top. I had a record that was number 5 before, and if it was still like it was then, I'd have been number 2 or 3 because we sold enough records to get there.
Wow.
But because we had to deal with the legacy acts, we didn't even know if we were going to make it at all. I got a call that Sunday because that was the big campaign. We were telling people like, "Hey, buy the record. We're trying to make it on the Billboard chart." It was like a goal. We set a goal. We were going to try to do it. And then they called me on Sunday and said, "Hey, man, I think we're going to be like number 16, and they only list 15." You know? So I
Oh
was
no.
like, "Oh my God, man, really?" So I was kind of bummed. And then the next morning, I got an email from Billboard, from Billboard.com, and it said, "Hey, we need pictures and a bio on this thing. You're going to you're charting tomorrow, you know?"
Wow.
So it's like, so it was kind of like, that's how it went, you know?
Well, I mean, that's the cat's meow when it comes to the charts, right? I mean, Billboard is
Yeah.
the de facto standard, right?
And to be honest with you, man, it's a week by week thing. We made it on there for 1 week because we sold a bunch of records.
Yeah, but
You know,
you were on
I
there
was
one
on
more
there.
week than I was on there,
I
right? You know what I'm
understand, and
saying? Yeah,
we were on there, and we made a big impact.
that's
And
great, man.
there will be one day, I have faith that I'll make a big enough impact to where maybe I'll make it on there 2 weeks, or,
Yeah, yeah, I
and
bet you will, man.
I'm just gonna keep pushing until then. Because what I do know is that what I do, people connect with,
Absolutely.
and you know, I have people that come on my live stream, and I inspired them to pick guitar up again. They put it down, but they'll sit there and practice with me. I'll have 20 or 30 grown men on the other side of the screen practicing with me and playing while you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's super cool,
And
man.
we just have we're just building a community, and it's man, I've gotten some of the craziest messages of just like and outpourings of love and support. So I just you know, I know that what I'm doing is positive. I know that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing
Sure you
in
are.
this life.
Yep.
And it's just gonna take you know, I try to write more positive stuff. I try to I don't try to write negative, and I feel like negative is what gets a lot of the attention these days. And so I'm always gonna try to write positive and make people feel better. And I'm just gonna hope that narrative turns around one day and people start wanting to hear up stuff that's going to be more uplifting than stuff that's going to be derogatory or bring them down. A
I
lot
agree.
of mainstream music's derogatory,
Yeah,
and
there's a
it
lot.
disrespects women, and it disrespects different ideologies, and it disrespects people, and just you know just everything. It's just disrespectful, and
Yeah,
it's just it's distasteful, and I'll never uh
stoop
succumb
to
to
that.
that.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
never succumb to that.
No, no, 100%. And I think that regardless of how, how high up the charts or how many millions of dollars or how many records you sell, like you got to be in your mind, you have to live with your own conscience and the message that you're putting out there. And if you're putting out negative connotations, negative messages, and you can live with that, then by all means shoot your shot, right? But you know where you know your lane. It sounds like you know your lane, you're staying true to your heart. That's what your heart says, and that's respectful in my eyes. I mean, that's 100 right there. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying like I just try to be real,
I
you
hear
know.
you. Well,
Uh,
tell me more about the new record, man. Courage in the Chaos. Talk to the listeners a little bit
so
about the record.
man, you know, some of the songs were kind of written in crunch time, you know, where it was like, man, we need some blues rock tunes. You know, I write blues rock and blues pretty quickly. Uh and then some of the tunes were like tunes that I reached way back, like Lipstick and like Insanity. Like a couple of those tunes are like super deep tunes that I've been working on for like a long, long, long time that Jim kind of helped me round out. Um, and the title I just felt like the world needed at the time. You know what I'm saying? We just
Yeah.
need courage in the chaos. It's chaotic right now. We need courage. So
Yep.
the title just kind of like made itself. And you know, it's a I think it's a Jim helped me make a very cool representation of kind of where my musical head is at, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, we paid homage to Michael Burks, who's one of my favorite artists. Empty Promises. I've been playing that since before Kingfish was even touring, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Uh I've been playing that song forever. They always say play Kingfish's Empty Promises, and I'm like, no, that's Michael Burks. You know, I love
Yep.
Kingfish. Don't get me wrong, that's
Yep.
my brother, uh, but Michael Burks was one of my heroes, and we did "Can't You See" because
Yeah.
Jim was kind of like, you know, what's an iconic song that's you know tied to Southern roots that we could really do something cool with. You know, obviously, "Can't You See"? You know,
Yeah. Great rendition of that, by the way. Did
thank
nice
you,
job on
I
that. Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, so that was cool, and and everything else is stuff that I wrote, just
Yeah,
a bunch
yeah.
of different. Yeah, I got stuff that feels kind of country on there. I got stuff that feels adult contemporary. I
I
got
was
stuff that
gonna.
feels blues. It's like I try to. I don't try to write something for everybody. I say that in interviews sometimes. I try to write something for everybody, but it just ends up happening. It just ends up happening to where like I'll write some catchy stuff that is just cross genre. And
Yeah, you
you
know
know,
what, man? The cool thing. I'm glad you said that because I listened. I listened to that whole record, top to bottom, like two or three times. And I say this tongue in cheek, and it's no slight. I said, this is kind of that mutt of a record, right? And a
yeah,
mutt in the most respectful way. I said, this dude is weaving in and out of genres on this record. Like I could hear this, I could hear that. And it's like, this isn't like that, right? You
right.
know what I'm saying? So you kind of solidified what I thought I was hearing on that record, right?
Well, think about the way that people consume music now. Like you listen to the record frontwards to backwards, but most people ain't gonna do that.
No,
They're
no.
gonna they're gonna sample the first 10 or 15 seconds of the song. If
Yep.
it's a groove they like, they might listen
Maybe.
to enough to where you sing, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then if they do like it, they're gonna add it to their playlist if you're lucky. And it's gonna be the one Boogie Long song on the playlist, and it's gonna
Yep.
play every now and then that's gonna be it.
That's
They
it.
don't like unless it's like a diehard fan or like somebody that really supports you. Uh, a lot of people aren't listen. The general listener is not listening to the whole record. They're not.
No, no.
They're gonna end up hearing the song that's being pushed the most,
Yep.
and they're either gonna like it or they aren't. You'll get a playlist ad if you're lucky, and then that's that. And
Yeah.
that's how people consume music now. So
Yeah.
like if I wanna if I want to end up in a country fans country playlist, I got to have a song like Drinking Through,
Yeah.
you
No,
know? If I
totally.
want to if I want to end up in a blues fans playlist, I got to have a song like Baby I'm Through, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
If I want to end up in a guy that listens to nothing but ZZ Top and Ted Nugent, I got to have a song like Hell or High Water.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
No,
just what
totally.
you that's just what I got to have.
You,
Like
you, you,
if I want to reach these people, but I don't think about it's not like I go, "Oh, well I got to have a song
you
that's
do it subconsciously,
I
right?
do
You
it
do.
subconsciously, dude. I
Yeah.
just do because I grew up listening to so much stuff like I'm just weird, dude. I'm just a weird writer. Right now, the
Well,
only
you're
new music I
eclectic,
listen
right?
to is if Jason Isbell writes a new record, right?
Yeah.
But I grew up on nothing but black gospel, R&B, and fusion bands.
Yeah.
So, like everybody else was listening to Thunderstruck and AC/DC and Guns N' Roses and whatever, and I'm listening to the Clark Sisters and Rance Allen and
Yeah.
the Aquarium Rescue Unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
like
Well,
that's why, but that's what
you're,
makes me different. That's
no,
what
you're
makes me
right.
different.
You're very eclectic in the taste, and you don't know me past this interview, but I've said it many times on my show. I'm the liner notes guy. I'm the guy that's going to buy the record and bust it open and sit there and read the liner notes before I even put the record on the turntable. And then it's a whole experience to me.
That's
And
right.
people
Yeah.
don't listen like that
Yeah.
anymore.
They
They don't
don't.
listen like that at live shows. They don't listen like that when they listen in the car. They don't listen like that when they like it's a lost art, man. It's
It
not the
is.
same anymore. And I'll tell you that, I've had a lot of old school guys. I had Tony Carey from Rainbow, the band, rock band Rainbow, on my show. And he's like, man, from, the time I recorded records back with Rainbow and my solo stuff with Planet P, the whole industry is 180 changed. It's just the music world is not what it was 20 years ago, right? At
It's
all.
it's not. It's not. And that's why like getting back on the road to some degree is my biggest goal right now.
Mhm.
I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get back on the road because I have to because that's where I'm most comfortable in my own skin.
Mhm.
But um, I had to embrace the online thing or at least find some niche of it that I could grasp and try to grow.
Yeah.
And and live performance is my best thing, and improv is one of my strong suits. So I that's why I started doing the TikTok thing so heavily, and I just don't make. I'm just not good at sitting there making polished content,
Yeah,
and it's hard for me to get over the perfectionist aspect of my ADHD brain to want to post like stuff to YouTube, and I'm kind of like saving that for just live clips, and I'm just
yeah,
gonna have like boogie long live clips. Uh, but I should be doing gear reviews and guitar lesson
sure.
clips and
Yeah,
licks of the day and
yeah,
here's a pedal and here's this and that. But I'm like I'm too self-conscious.
yeah,
It's because of I'm not it's because it was ingrained in my head by previous people that I worked with that everything that I did was garbage. Like everything social media wise was garbage.
hmm,
So now that I'm not under such heated discussion, like heated judgment,
scrutiny. Yep, mhm,
scrutiny,
yep,
I'm still like in that
yeah,
mindset.
totally.
So, and
Like,
it's just like, you know,
yeah, I think I read that you, I guess, split recording time. Was it between New Orleans and Mandeville? Share with me
yeah, yeah, yeah.
how the
It was,
recording went down for
yeah.
you
So
guys for this record.
half the record was done in Mandeville at Rapidash Studios, and uh, I had David Ellis, and I had Terrence Higgins on drums that who now plays for Government Mule, and I had Nelson Blanchard who now plays for LaRue, right, on
Yeah.
keyboard.
Mhm.
And so that was that session. And then I did that. So half the record was done there. And then the other half of the record was done with Doug Belote on drums, Alan Maxwell on bass, and John Papagrow on B3 organ. And
Yeah.
I did that at Jack Mills' studio in New Orleans.
Okay.
Jack is the founder and the leader of Molly Ringwalds,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
and he also owns a huge studio. He does a bunch of TV work, like a lot of stuff for movies and film. You know,
Right. Right. Right.
so
Well, I love the song "Insanity." By the way, that one stuck out to me on that record. And this is a an 11 song LP, and it features some great musicianship for sure.
oh yeah.
How proud are you of the record?
Oh, I'm proud of it. It's my favorite album that I've done. Like Insanity is one of my favorite songs I've written. I love the song Lipstick that Jeff Glicksman helped us mix that, and he did all of Kansas's stuff. He produced Gary Moore,
Yeah,
he produced Ingve. He he loved that song, and I it was so cool to like uh there's just songs on there that I connect with so deeply, and I was
sure.
just so happy to finally like just get them out because it's
Yep.
kind of like just shedding it, you know. You just
Yep.
kind of get it out and you just put it out there, and um, so man, I'm super proud of it. Could listen, you can always do better.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
can always tell yourself, man, like I go back and listen to this, and this could have done, then we could have done that. But you know what?
Keep it
It
simple, stupid,
It
right?
sonically, I haven't had a single negative review from
That's awesome.
somebody that wasn't a troll. Like
Yeah,
somebody that actually
exactly.
listened to the stuff and
Sure.
you know, because I mean Daryl Thorpe mixed the record. He mixed all the Foo Fighters stuff. Guys got 10 Grammys for the Foo Fighters, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh I mean it's just a cool record.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you
just
mentioned,
cool, you
yeah,
know.
yeah, that's super cool, man. And you mentioned Kansas, and there's a lot of ties to Louisiana with Kansas. You know, in Bogalusa studio in the country, like a lot of the great Kansas records were
Done
recorded
here.
there.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Left Overture was done here, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Um, I just went and wrote three songs with Steve Morse, who played guitar with Kansas for a short time, you
Yep.
know, for a
Yep. I
little
remember
while.
that. Yep.
You know he also played Deep Purple, but
Yep.
um,
Well, when it comes to songwriting, Boogie, you've been compared to the Cody Johnsons, uh, the Jason Isbells, and you know what? Look, truth be told, I consider Jason Isbell one of the best out there. So I mean,
He's my favorite of the
that
century.
that's a pretty awesome comparison because Jason Isbell in the 400 unit doesn't write shitty songs, right? Like they just don't do it.
It's
And
a
I'm a
great
huge Isbell fan.
It's a good comparison. I listen, man, and I'm not. I would love to. That's a great comparison. I won't even accept that if
Mhm.
that makes any sense.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I won't accept that because like I've heard, dude, I've sat there and listened to Elephant
yeah.
and
Wow.
and man
How
and
deep? How
like
deep is that one, man?
oh, it's the
Wow.
deepest, and it's like he writes stuff that if you listen to it and you don't, it doesn't hit you in the gut, you
Hmm.
don't even have a soul.
Yeah.
I used to make a joke like if I put on an Isbell record and you listen to it all the way through and it doesn't gut wrench you at least one time, I can't be friends with that person.
Yeah.
No,
No,
serious. It's like,
I hear
you
you,
know what I'm
man.
saying? It's like
Yeah.
that. It's like that's not even a good person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
I don't disagree
it's
with you.
just so deep, man. And I am trying to I'm getting there. I'm getting there. And I
Yeah.
and I love the comparison and it's humbling. But I'm getting there, man. I got some living to do. I don't know, dude, that guy has been to some dark places. I don't know if
Oh
I've
yeah.
been there. I don't know if I've been
Yeah.
there yet, man.
He's been through the
So,
shit for sure. But I mean, you think of if you're an fan and you think of songs like Vampires,
oh
like I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, oh yeah.
that's about as
When we were
deep as it
vampires,
comes
yeah,
to. Yeah. Like
yeah,
it's crazy good stuff. Well, you know what? You've shared the stages with some greats, man. And that those greats include the BB Kings, the Joe Bonamosses, the Robert Crays. What does it mean to a guy like you to get to share the bill and the stages with I mean these guys are kind of legends, right? Or they are legends,
they are.
right?
Yeah, they're
Like
legends.
what do you I mean what goes through your mind? Like is there ever a pinch yourself moment like what the fuck am I doing here, right? And I know you're great in your own right, but these are legends that you and me grew up listening to,
Yeah,
the BB Kings, right? Let's just say let's
they're
call
all
it how it
pinch
is,
yourself
right? Yeah,
moments,
yeah,
man.
man.
They're all, and you just got to look at them all as a experience and a notch in the belt, a
For
notch in the
sure.
cap. I
Yeah.
mean, it's like I did a show with Greg Allman. He'll never be back. I was on the Blues Cruise with Alan Toussaint, Buckwheat Zydeco. They'll never be back. It's just
Yeah.
like BB King. I did 15 shows with. Um, so it's just it's humbling, man. Is all I can
Wow.
tell you. Like
That's
every
super cool.
every opportunity that I get is humbling because I know how lucky I am to have it.
Well, you
All
know what?
aspects of it, man. There's so many people that are just like the fact that I can stand and walk and feel and taste and touch and see and do what I love, and I got all my fingers that work, and just like I'm just so blessed and lucky just to even be here, to even have the opportunity, much less to share the stage with my heroes and to do those things. So
you know
I
what?
just feel
Just
blessed, man. I just
what?
feel blessed.
Yeah, and you should. And well, it just came to mind that I said this guy Boogie will go far because you're a grounded guy, right? I like to think I'm a good judge of character. And you're a humble guy, even though you're a great vocalist and guitarist, right? But that humility, that humbleness, and just staying grounded, people see right through the unreal musicians. They're just they're dirty, they're messy. Like I wouldn't want to be around those. I'd rather hang around with a guy like you that just, I'm just doing this because I really love it, and
Yeah, I'm doing it.
not, and what happens from it. If I make $10 trillion, I make $10 trillion. If I only make, $1 million, I'm okay with that too. But I'm doing what I love, and you stay grounded like that. And that's commendable, man. So
Man, I'm
pat
doing
yourself
it
on
because
the back for that.
I'm doing it because it's literally my lifeline
Yeah. Right
because
on.
it's what it's the reason I exist, man.
Yeah.
And it's what keeps me going, you know.
Yeah.
So I
Well,
just have to keep going, and I've had some ups and downs, man. I've had some, I'm trying. I'm trying to make an upswing right now. I was on a major low, but the thing is, I always make this joke about, I say I'm resilient like a roach. They can spray me with that spray, but they ain't never gonna get rid of me. I'm like
there
a
was
roach. I'm gonna keep coming back.
there was an interview I saw with Cher years ago, and she said, you know, if there was a nuclear holocaust, there's going to be only two things left, and that's roaches and Cher. Like, you know,
Yeah,
you're never going to get rid of her, right? She's
I
going to be
love
around
that.
from the dawn of time. And you kind of said the same thing in
Hey,
your own words.
a friend of mine wrote the song years ago, um, but I always remember star spelled backwards is rats.
Rats. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just
Yeah.
gotta, so at the end of the day, you're a star and you're a rat, baby.
That's right. That's right. Well, you know, we've dropped a few names like, you know, BB King, Joe Bonamassa, Robert Craig comes to mind with you. You know, of course, Jason Isbell. Are there any, I guess, up and comers or current stuff these days that are in that blues rock Creole soul type genre that you're really vibing with? Like, is there anybody doing it for you
Man,
right now?
I don't, uh, I I don't really listen to enough music these days to honestly to make an assessment. I've been connecting with this. There's this guy named or there's this group named the Nicotine Dolls, and I've been connecting with their singer a lot because he's
Okay.
real. You can just hear the realness in his voice. And then there's a guy I'm going to mention him. There's a guy that I follow on TikTok who I think is really going to be cool. He's kind of like I call him like the next Alan Stone. He's like a soul R&B kid, and his name's Benny G. I think Benny G is
I
going to
think I've
be.
seen him. Yeah, I think I've
Yeah.
seen him.
It's been on my mind for days.
Yeah,
He's got some really catchy stuff.
interesting.
So
Benny G. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Benny G. I've been vibing to some Benny G, and man, there's so many unique artists. There's so many
There
unique
are.
people out there, man. There's just some eclectic people. There's a
Yeah.
guy named Talk, Talk,
Okay.
and he had a song called Runaway to Mars. What a gorgeous song. And
Yeah.
he wears he's a real big guy, and he dresses like an interstellar spaceman meets a wrestler. Like he's in luchador with
Oh, right.
sparkles and big stars. Yeah, he's
Okay.
just the craziest outfits, and
Interesting.
dude, it's so interesting, and I mean, like these guys are crushing it, man.
Yeah, that's
You
great.
know, Wick,
Good for
Wick, Wick.
them.
Just there's a lot of hip dudes out there, man. I
For
don't listen
sure.
to enough music though. I try to I try to play. I try to just play every day, and I try to stay writing, and
Yeah.
you know,
Well, it's, you
just
know,
that takes up
it,
a lot of my mind. You know.
well, and you could go down a rabbit hole, and I mean, there's so many great artists out there that you could just like wither days away listening to people. But I think that's one of the cool things about my show. It, you know, it's in 143 countries now, and I've had Hall of Fame guys like yourself from, you know, bands like Guns N' Roses and blah 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 blah, right? And this never gets old because it helps me to open my ears to go listen to things that maybe I would have never listened to before, and I fall in love with these things, you know,
Yeah,
these artists and these bands. So I think for musicians, we have to keep that open mind and keep the ears open to new things because you never know when you're going to pull an inspiration of that you can in turn interpret your way and put it out on a record, and it does amazing, right? You never
that's
know
right.
when the next cool thing is going to inspire you, right?
Man, I'm always inspired, man. I might get inspired by the windshield wipers on a certain
Yeah.
day. You know what
Slapping
I mean? Like
time,
there's
right?
just
Yeah,
like it's just
totally.
anything can inspire.
That's right. Well, talk to the listeners about any projects, coming up, either music projects or outside of music that you can talk about? Is there anything that you'd like to share there with the listeners of
Man,
Backstage Pass Radio?
uh, well, I'm working on putting a project together. I'm hoping to put something together with Steve Morse. I don't know if it's what's going to happen with that yet, but we're trying to put something together with that. I've wrote 3 songs with him already. Um, Also, I got a tour in September. I'm gonna be doing Knuckleheads on September 3rd. I'm gonna be at the Red Shed in Hutchinson, Kansas on the 4th. The Blues Ball in Medicine Park, Oklahoma on the 5th. George's Tavern in Denison, Texas on the 6th. Then we're gonna wrap up in Baton Rouge at LaBerge Casino
Oh,
and
nice.
Edge Bar on the 7th. I'll also be at Panorama Music House in Lake Charles on the 19th of September. And then I'm doing a tour in December of Florida. 21st will be in Boca Raton. 22nd will be in Cocoa Beach. 23rd will be in Tallahassee. 24th will be in Fort Myer, and the 25th will be in Pensacola. So that's cool. You know, I got some dates coming up, and really right now that's my focus is like trying to get some numbers to report because I
Yeah.
want to I want to put some good numbers up and get those reports so I can show good numbers and just try to move forward, man. That's the
Yeah.
biggest goal right now. I have Jim is helping me put some funding behind promotion and press the shows and stuff and we're just gonna I just want to work hard so that his investment doesn't go you understand what I'm saying? I want
Yeah.
him to
No,
be able to
totally.
see his investment do something positive
Yep.
and which would be awesome because that helps me. I mean,
Totally.
he's
Totally.
investing in me, so if it's
That's right.
positive, that means I'm positive. So,
That's exactly it,
uh,
man.
so yeah, man, that's we're just trying to move forward and you know, I'm just a songwriter at heart, man. You know, I think we're gonna try to do a traditional blues album because I really feel like I play traditional blues as good as anybody. And I want to do a traditional blues album, shuffles and slow blueses and minor blueses and Albert Collins and Freddie King feeling stuff, you know,
Yeah.
real deal. So I
Yeah.
really want to put together something like that at some point, and we might even do we've even had talks about doing a record with some horns, you know,
That'd be
which could be
cool.
that record too. So
Yeah.
so we'll
That would be
see.
super cool.
We'll see
Yeah.
what happens, man. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
we're just gonna keep a positive mindset in this crazy world, and we're just gonna try to be a light to people and to make people smile instead of frown.
There you go.
There's so many things out there that just make people want to vomit. You know,
Yeah, no,
I
I
hate to
get it.
use that word, but it's
No,
just
that's
like
true. That's true with
man,
all
it's
the politics and
just
everything else that,
everything. You
yeah,
know,
it's everything,
I
man.
don't even get in it, but it's just
Yeah,
like just too much, man.
it is. It's
So
overwhelming.
yeah. So
Well, where can the listeners of Backstage Pass Radio find you on social media if they wanted to go out there and find all things Boogie Long? Where are we looking?
hey, if you go, boogielong.com has all my social media links.
Okay.
Direct links. You can click the your favorite app and it'll bring you to the page.
Okay.
Otherwise, just Google Boogie Long. I always tell people just Google Boogie Long. You can my life stories on Wikipedia. All my apps are connected on my Google homepage, and I mean I'm easy to find. I'm Boogie
Yeah.
Long, man. You know, I
That's
just tell
you.
people
The
that's
one and
me.
only.
There's
That's
one
you,
and
man.
only. You know.
That's
Uh,
exactly it. There's only one that I've ever heard of. So,
Yeah, what's funny is this is just real quick a funny story. I'm an avid pool player. I've been playing good pool since I was a child. So um, there is a guy in Mississippi, he's one state over. His name is Jonathon Boogie Long. The only
no
difference,
way.
yeah, his nickname's always been Boogie too, and his name's Jonathan Long. So he's Jonathan Boogie Long. He spells it with an A,
A instead
and
of an O.
he plays way better pool than I do. He's a really good pool player. So
Wow.
it's just kind of funny, you know.
Yeah, that's cool. How
He got the
ironic.
pool skill and I got the guitar skill, you
There
know.
you
So
go.
but we're
I'd
both
take, I'd
Jonathan
take, I'd take
Boogie
the,
Long.
yeah, I'd take the guitar skill
Yeah, yeah,
myself.
me too, me
But I
too.
do have my own little stick over there in the corner. I'll shoot a game or two from time to time, but don't do it
Nice.
much anymore. But For the guitar geeks out there, a couple of little rapid fire questions for you.
All right.
What your go-to guitar? What is the guitar for you in your collection that you would say is the baby, right? The go-to.
Man, the I have several that I love, obviously, for many different reasons. If I was to ask the guitar that I'll never get rid of, it's my 335,
Okay.
even though it's the hardest one to tour with. My favorite guitar, period, in the world is a Fender Telecaster.
Tell
And
you.
so any iteration of it,
Yeah.
like I think it's a Swiss Army knife. I think if you get stranded in the middle of a flood, that you can paddle your way out of it with it. I
Yeah.
think that like literally, it's like a it's and you can put it in a case and throw it under the airplane. Yeah, see there? Yeah, that guitar is virtually indestructible. You know? I mean, you might have some scrapes and stuff and this and that on it, but I feel comfortable like even if they have to put it under the plane to just give it to me. And I think that's when you're traveling, that's the big thing because you'll if I had to give them the 335, my stomach would be in knots.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh,
Yeah. Gotta be,
I
yeah.
mean, it's so I think a Telecaster is my favorite, man.
There you
They're
go.
just easy to travel with. Whenever I do fly dates, I bring two of them. I bring
There you
two
go.
Tellies. So
One guitar that you would love to own that you don't have today. I
well,
said one, not 73. I know your brain's already going 100 miles an hour, right?
mm, um, well. I mean, I treat them both the same way. I would either want like a pre-war Martin or a 52 Telly Blackguard. I mean, I think the Blackguard Telly is like the holy grail. Like if I had a butterscotch blonde Blackguard Telly, I think I'd just fall out of the chair. Like if I got to pick that up and play it every day, it would be
Yeah.
just they're 60 grand.
Yeah.
So I mean,
How much do you find yourself playing acoustic guitar though? Do you
when
play
I
a
write
lot or no?
songs,
Okay.
well now I have my studio set up to where I'm kind of like been writing more on electric too, but I used to write everything on acoustic, and I play acoustic gigs every now and then, like very, very, very rarely. It's one of my least favorite things in life to do.
Really?
I always end up doing good. People enjoy it. They enjoy the hell out of it. And I always end up doing it and this and that, but I always dread it. It's like one of those kind of gigs that I just dread. I dread being up there alone and
Yeah.
just
Oh,
all attention. You
that
know what I'm
makes
saying?
sense. Yeah.
I
You're so
dread
used to
having to
the
do it by
band thing.
myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so
No,
used to the
totally.
band thing. So,
Totally. Yeah,
uh,
because you don't have the same full sound that you have in the band.
yeah,
It's
and it's
very
just
raw.
I'm covering a lot. I play a lot of guitar, so I do a lot of lead stuff, and I'm having to cover a lot of rhythm and lead at the same time, which I do, but it's just a different mindset and a
That
different
makes sense.
play in a different way. It makes me play a different way. I
Yep.
kind of have to approach everything from more of like an old school blues kind of perspective than being able to be more fusion kind of that I'd
Makes
like to be,
sense.
you know.
Yep. Is there like a pedal, a board, like a unit for the guitar listener that is kind of your and I'm sure you have a pedal board that has like 10 pedals or whatever effects
Three.
on it. Like,
I
okay,
have three pedals.
talk to me about
I
them and
have
what they're.
so right now this is my board.
Oh, you're a simple guy. Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So I have
Yeah.
a carbon copy. Sorry, over here. Carbon copy
Yeah.
delay. This is a Landau Distortion Vimuram. Vimuram's my favorite overdrive pedal company. They're from Japan.
Okay.
They make the best overdrive pedals I've ever heard in my life. So Vimuram, and then I have a tuner. So
Interesting.
delay, and really, this is barely on.
Okay.
This really just adds a little color, like kind of like almost to like take the place of reverb. I know delay is completely different than reverb, but just to add that little bit of something extra, to give it just that little bit of extra sparkle,
Interesting.
and that's really all I use the delay for. It's very, 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 very light.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I switch between clean and the overdrive. The overdrive, I love so much because it's one of those pedals where you can just use the volume knob. So like when you turn it down, it doesn't. You don't really lose volume. You just kind of lose gain. It gets a little
Yeah.
cleaner. And then when you crank it, it's it's full on.
Oh
So
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What about a string of choice? What strings do you play there?
11s. I'm endorsed by Ernie Ball.
Ernie
So
Ball.
I use Power Slinky. It's the purple pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I order 24 or 36 sets of those at a time.
Yeah. How
And
often do you change those after every show, or you use them for a
about
little
two
while?
shows. It depends unless it's an outdoor show. If it's
Yeah.
outdoors, sometimes it gets gunky and like I'm really terrible about wiping my guitar down after the show because I always try to go sell merch and this and that. And everybody's
Yeah.
always just packing stuff up. So uh a lot of times I'll have to do like a clean up and just change strings.
Yep.
So I get them for real cheap. So
Yep.
I about once every two shows, So my live stream guitars even get gunky. I have to change them after, four live streams and they're
Uh-huh.
ready to be changed too. But I
Sure.
play a lot. I'll
Yeah.
play some days I'll off and on I'll do 6 hours in a day, you
Wow,
know.
that's a lot,
So
man.
it's a
That's a lot.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
What about amp choice for you?
I've been endorsing a company called Two Rock
Okay.
since 2020. Uh, They they make a couple different style amps, but most of them are based on like a Dumble circuit. They're like Dumbles clones, and they're incredible.
Hmm.
They're my favorite amp. You know,
Interesting. Yeah.
uh, I like a clean pedal platform. I like an amp that can get real clean and jangly, um, and just sound big and full.
For sure.
And these things are insanely ridiculous. I
Wow.
mean, they're the best amps I've ever owned. So
Wow. Interesting.
they're
I'll have to.
expensive. They're
Uh,
real expensive, but
yeah. I'll have to
they're
look them up.
they're awesome. Two
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah. Two Rock. Okay.
Yeah. John
Uh.
Mayer used to use them. Joe Bonamassa used to use them too. Now Joe would probably still be using them, but he uses his Dumbles now. So he's actually got
Okay.
real Dumbles. So
Okay.
when you got
Interesting.
Dumble money, you use Dumbles.
There you go. There you go.
But they're
Uh.
$250,000 a piece. So
Oof.
anyway,
Yeah, a little out of my budget there.
yeah, me
Out of
too.
out of most people's budget, right? Got to save a few dollars there.
Yeah.
Uh, Greatest blues artist in Boogie Long's eyes. Who do you believe that crown goes to?
Man, I mean, I mean, BB King is the king of the blues, man. He did more with blues than anybody. He played more shows than anybody. I'll tell you that. I mean, he played
Yeah,
so many shows. Uh, he's not my favorite blues artist. I think I'll tell you this. I think Sean Costello would have been one of the biggest blues artists in the world if he didn't die
wow,
when he was younger. He died at like 28 or 29.
yeah, wow,
I think he would have been. I think he would have been one of the biggest because he was the real deal Holyfield.
interesting.
Uh, Michael Burks is one of my favorites too. I never got to see him live or play with him because he passed away in the airport coming back from overseas. But um, you know, Sean and Michael are literally two of my favorite blues artists, man.
Yeah,
I go back and listen to their stuff all the time. I bet I've listened to more Michael Burks than I have Stevie Ray Vaughan.
is that
I
right?
care more about Michael Burks' songs than I do Stevie Ray Vaughan's. I
Interesting.
just do.
It's
It's
always it's always cool to hear that because I guess by nature or by trade, I would never consider myself a blues guy, right? I never played the blues. I loved it, but I just don't play it. So it's all I always like that perspective, right? Of a guy like you that's a renowned blues guy that's played with some of the biggest names. Just to hear what's kind of your thought process around it, right? Because I think everybody will go to that, oh, Stevie Ray Vaughan, right? Because that's the household name, right? That
they all
everybody
they all
knows,
compare
right?
you to that, man.
Yeah.
But if they listened, like people automatically like if you're holding a guitar and you have a little bit of a dirty sound on it, they're automatically going to compare you to Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Hmm.
But if you listen real close, what I'm actually playing is gospel vocal licks.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's
Because
interesting.
I look at guitar as a singing instrument. I
Yeah.
look at it more from a singer's standpoint.
Yeah.
I listened to more singers. I learned more licks more runs and licks from singers than I did guitar players
I'll be
in
darned.
my life. I listened to more vocalists. Black gospel was a huge influence in my life.
Yeah.
Every Donnie McClurkin, Daryl Cooley, Rance Allen, the Pace sisters, the Clark sisters, uh, all that stuff, all that stuff.
Where did that come from for you? Like,
Well, I
you
mean, I
growing up
just
in a white family, and I love Motown. I'm eclectic like that, but you're spitting out, some old school people here that most would not, I would have never guessed, right? So it's interesting. So I'm curious where that background or that love
well,
for that music come from.
I grew up around great musicians that shared music,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
shared music.
Yeah.
I grew up with a great singer named German Poole, who's still leading worship at churches now. Man, he turned me on to some of my favorite music and some of my favorite artists,
Wow. Yeah.
and I just the people that you grow up on show
Of
you
course.
stuff. I had
Yep.
got like my people wasn't showing me, rock and roll and AC/DC and all that kind of stuff. They were showing me like soulful stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of my favorite albums is Jill Scott live in Washington D.C. There's not even a guitar player on that album.
Really.
Nowhere.
Wow.
Not one single note of guitar, you know?
Interesting.
Uh so yeah, I mean that's just I love it.
Yeah.
Can't get
Well,
enough of it. And I mean, it makes me different.
yeah.
That's what makes me different.
I
I
like it.
feel like if I would have grown up on everything like everybody else, I'd sound like everybody else.
Absolutely. No, you have a great point
I
there.
do play pentatonic scales too, though. Don't get me wrong. I play a lot of. Hey, I wear the pentatonic out just like
Eh,
anybody. I mean,
everybody got to play the
hey, man,
pentatonic scale, right?
but uh, I just use it a little differently. The way that I
Yeah,
use it's a little different.
right
So,
on. Boogie,
but anyway,
what did we miss, man? Like we covered a lot of ground here, and I wanted to make sure that if there's anything that I didn't tee up for you or that you had on your mind, like use this to share with my listeners. But you know,
we
uh,
covered it, man. I mean, I'm
okay,
just look for me on the road. Just go follow me on my socials. Every Spotify spin helps that road to a million listens.
yeah,
Uh, I mean, every person that follows on TikTok and hits a like on Instagram and any of that kind of stuff, it all helps. So, if you dig my vibe, if you want to hear stuff, go follow the socials, go check it out because I post content and I try to be personable with people and
sure.
really get to know, people. So, it's a struggle but somebody's got to do it,
That's
and
right.
I'm happy. I'm happy that I'm blessed that it's me to some degree. So
There you go. Well, you know what, Boogie? Like I don't think the listeners out there understand the power of the likes and the shares and the subscribes. Like I think people are so tuned to just like you said it best earlier. They pick up the phone, they go to a reel, they watch it for 7 seconds and they just swipe up. They don't like it, they don't do nothing with it, they don't share it. And if people half like what you do, and this is a PSA to my listeners out there, if you go look at a Boogie Long video, goddamn, like hit the like button and share it with your friends. Do something if you even halfway like it, right? That helps
yeah,
these
it helps.
musicians out tremendously and exponentially. Like you have no idea what the impact is for them. To you, it's cheesy and it means nothing, but to guys like Boogie, it means the world to these
That's
guys,
right.
right?
It means
So,
it means get it means getting out to the next person or or,
or
or, or, or meeting the
success.
next opportunity. I mean, you
Yep.
don't never know. So
And the same thing happens with the podcast. The more you can like and share, even if you like the show a little bit, that helps me tremendously get out to more ears, right? And it's really
right.
all about putting guys like you, giving you the mic and the pedestal to share your gift with the listeners, the stories behind the songs, which is why I started this podcast back in 2020. It was all about you and the stories behind the music, right? Because I'm that junkie. Like I'm that guy that listens intently still to this day. I listen to music
Well, we
for the
appreciate.
3.5 minute story that gets told, right? Not just the beat, not just the loudness or whatever. I want to hear the story, right?
Well, we appreciate guys like you for sure. That there's still people like you out there, and it's humbling. It's a humbling experience for me that anybody would be interested to hear anything that I have to say. So it's humbling, and I appreciate the opportunity and you having me. You know,
Yeah, and you know what, brother? If only one person listened to that, you have one more listener today than you had yesterday,
and
right?
that's right,
So that's a positive thing. Well, but
and that's all that matters. You
that
know.
is it. Well, Boogie, listen, man, I appreciate the time and the stories and getting to know you this evening. When Jim told me about you, I take Jim's word as the gospel. If he says you got to have Boogie on the show, then I that's all you needed to say. So I
Well,
appreciate Jim getting this set up, and it's this has been a treat, and I know the listeners of Backstage Pass Radio will, really enjoy getting to know you and your story and what you like and dislike and the humble guy that you are, right?
well, I appreciate that, and it's like I said, it's humbling. For the opportunity is humbling in itself. So thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Well, you guys make sure to like, share, and subscribe to all things Jonathon Boogie Long, and also make sure to bookmark that official page at boogielong.com, and also make sure to go out and check out Miracle Records, their website at Miracle. That's MYRICAL, miraclerecords.com. I ask the listeners to like, share, and subscribe to the podcast on Facebook at Backstage Pass Radio Podcast, on Instagram at Backstage Pass Radio, and on the website at backstagepassradio.com. You guys remember to take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you right back here on the next episode of Backstage Pass Radio.